Good evening, VV Nation. My name is Ryan and welcome to the channel. Now, the results are in. Highly anticipated. Trump is the winner. So let's get back to business as usual. The market's been a little rocky, a little volatile. It's been hard to give you great stock recommendations, but now it looks like the market is ticking to the upside. The Dow Jones up 1,300 points and the VIX dropped 20%. So that being said, in tonight's presentation, we're going to start off by looking at a couple graphs of some losers in this space, right? The policies under the Trump administration is going to play a big role in certain industries. And on top of that, I've been going through the Unisearch part of the program, looking at what industries are showing the most momentum to the upside. Some of them I'm not too surprised about. Others, I am. So in tonight's presentation, we're going to dive into those industries and I'm going to give you great stocks since the market is rising and the VectorVest 7 system is telling us to buy safe, undervalued stocks that are rising at this time. And with the MTI, just crossed back above 1. Historically, it gets top heavy around 1.5. Therefore, we might just have some sustainability to this rally going into the holidays. So if this is what you're interested in, stick around and let's make some money. First thing we're going to talk about today, defense stocks. We see the gap up clearly, but since the market's open, look at this. Currently trading at 35.16. At the high was 36.49. So you see a lot of those gains are given up this morning. Now, we did see some buying pressure this bottom wick right at the 20-day EMA. So if you are doing some bottom fishing, if you're jumping in a deep end, I would like to see price action at least stay above the 20-day EMA. But with a fresh crossover, the 3 above the 8-day EMA at this moment, we are seeing a change in tide right now and some optimism when it comes to defense stocks. Now, speaking of oil, the gap down this morning was pretty severe, but look at this full-bodied candlestick. If I go to a one-day chart here, since the open, buyers clearly taking charge here. So if you're trying to do some bottom fishing on oil, opportunities also might just be presenting themselves. Now, when it comes to semiconductor chips, we've got Intel here. Clear jump up today. Obviously, this has a lot to do with the tariff concerns when it comes to the semiconductor space in general. Now, after the gap up, Intel pretty flat right now, relatively higher than the open. But let's take a look at Taiwan Semiconductor because that's going to be the adverse effect when it comes to these tariffs. Again, this is the manufacturer for the likes of NVIDIA, AMD. Look at this clear gap down. Price action also on the decline since the open right now. So this is going to be my big concern going forward will be the tariffs and how they affect certain stocks in the market. Five Below also under pressure when it comes to a Trump presidency with tariffs. You can see the gap down here. The stock was downgraded this morning. However, some buyers are coming in right now, pushing the price action higher than the open at 86.49. Now for tonight's video, very simple technique. I went to Unisearch. I ran the one-day price delta, essentially just giving me a sense of which industries are showing the most momentum under the election results. You see financial crypto stocks at the top of the list. A lot of banking appears right now. I did do a video 2 weeks ago on banking. The trade setup looked really nice, just the market was pretty volatile. Let's take a look at banking today, see if any opportunities are presenting themselves. Let's take a look at these industries, and then we're going to break down these industries, and I have a great list of stocks for you to play on this rally. First industry being crypto stocks. I know a lot of people watching this think they're complete crap, and they might be, but at this time looks like they're making people money. Now, I did do a video of a cup and shoulders formation that I saw with the Bitcoin chart, and with today's excitement in the financial or the crypto stock community when it comes to the election results, full-bodied candlestick here. We looked at the other charts. We didn't see much follow through, but this space is showing a lot of follow through. So I do have some ETFs and crypto stocks for you this evening. Here we have Bank Southeast. Now, look at this phenomenal move to the upside. Now, I was looking at these charts. Like I said, 2 weeks ago, I did a video on this. Trade setups were definitely presenting themselves, but the market wasn't quite there, especially with all the uncertainty around the election. We have interest rate decision tomorrow. That's really going to be the deciding factor of any kind of follow through. And I just want to give you fair warning because I know all the hype is around the election right now, but do not forget about the interest rate decision come tomorrow. Now, banking, this clearly great trade setup, nice follow through. This will make the cut. Now, the trucking industry, big gap up, but I don't like this upper wick, so this one is not going to make today's cut. Now, we just looked at the USO ETF. We saw the gap down, buying pressure, but look at this space. When it comes to petroleum stocks, machine equipment, that's the place to be. This gapped up, not like USO, which gapped down. And look at this, full body candlestick today, very little wick at the top, Bullish momentum is confirmed. Therefore, petroleum machine equipment is making the cut. Here we have electronic parts distribution like the gap up. We had a little bit of consolidation here over the last several trading weeks. Full body candlestick today. Love what I see here, but what I do not like, look at the volume. Very little volume for such a big day in the space right now. Here we got metal products again. Look at this, 3 cross above the 8, consolidation over the last 2 weeks. A lot of these charts are looking pretty similar. If I go here, there's the last one, media television. Boom, big jump up today, 75.49, trading right at 3-month highs. Nice gap up, follow through. So let's take a look at the best stocks in this space. Get ready and let's make some money. I created a watch list with 13 stocks after going through the industries to find some great winning trades for you. You can see right here the sectors. I mean, a lot of it is going to be petroleum, banking, and the crypto space itself. Now, as far as picking these stocks, I tried my best to find undervalued stocks with a favorable safety rating. So if the stocks are overvalued, it typically means that they're in a space or industry that it tends to be overvalued, like the crypto stocks being an example. Or if you see a RS below 1, that just means that there were not too many stocks with a RS greater than 1. That was the case when I was looking at petroleum stocks. Now I did put in the list IBIT. I know a lot of the crypto miners, came in. That was a hot industry. Me personally, I'm a much bigger believer in the spot ETFs, as far as a long-term investment when it comes to Bitcoin or even swing trading, just because it has a correlation with Bitcoin itself and tends to be less volatile in nature. But these stocks, I mean, they're all up today. Most of them are double-digit winners. We got 20%, 13, 17%, Marathon Digital up 14%. You can see why I want these stocks on your radar. And on top of that, the VectorVest 7 system is giving them all buy ratings. And if we look at the sales growth rate and the growth rate in earnings, all in positive territory, double digits for the most part. Only one here showing a -6 when it comes to the growth rate and earnings, but with momentum to the upside when it comes to price action. Definitely don't overlook this position. Now, when I go through these graph charts, I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to say either trade or invest, giving you a sense of mentality for this type of stock, right? Or both. Some could be both tradable and investable, like this position, MLI. We see momentum to the upside with price action. It's tradable, right? We're seeing that the valuation is on the rise. The stock is undervalued. The growth rate is at 12, sales growth rate 22, both on the rise over the last 3 months. Therefore, it qualifies as both being an investment and a tradable position. Now, if we take a look at the next position here, we got GTLS. Look, undervalued. Price action on the rise, approaching value, buy rating given, growth rate and earnings on the rise. EPS did falter, but did finish higher over the last 3 months, both tradable and investable. Now, when it comes to IREN, I'm thinking more of a trade here. 3 just crossed above the 8. The stock is overvalued right now. Growth rate and EPS on the rise, but I'm thinking more of a trade rather than just an investment. And it's crypto stock, so it's going to be volatile in nature. Again, more of a trade. Here we have Stockyards. Look at the valuation. Huge jump in valuation here. The stock is undervalued right now. Now, the position is showing an upper wick, some selling pressure after today's gap up. Not a buyer as of today. Maybe take out today's high looking for confirmation. But as far as investment or tradable, I would say both because the stock is undervalued. We're seeing momentum here. Fresh crossover, the 3 and 8 to the upside. Growth rate on the rise. EPS also on the rise. But again, just looking for confirmation either way. Now, here's my way to play Bitcoin. It's going to be a spot ETF. I'm just using IBIT as an example here. Any spot ETF, strong volume is the way to go. Now we can see, look, severe resistance zone here at 41.89, 40.68. I had drawn this here before. Gap up. We are out of this resistance zone, broke out to the upside. So if you're not already in it, I like Bitcoin a lot, especially after the video I did 2 weeks ago on the cup and handle formation. Now, as we take a look at the next position here, we've got BKR, Baker Hughes. Look at this, greatly undervalued, momentum to the upside. Growth rate and earnings is on the decline, but still sits at 19%, giving me some optimism there. Sales growth rate at 4%, earnings per share on the rise. This stock, great investment. And with momentum right now, moving averages in our favor, I see a clear trade setup. Now we're getting into the banking stocks. Look, position greatly undervalued. We're seeing follow through in today's trading session here. Full body candlestick, buy rating just given as of today. Growth rate, look, 8%, sales growth rate 10%, earnings per share. Let's go to a 1-year chart here. See, on the rise over the last 12 months. Price action also on the rise. This I see more as an investment. If you plan on trading this position here, again, I do see a level of resistance coming into play. If I use a horizontal line, We do have resistance right here. So actually, even as an investment, now taking a look at this, I'd want to take out the previous high here at $46.07, maybe 10 cents above that, just showing confirmation, strong volume. That's exactly what I'm looking for. But sitting right on this resistance level, I can't get on it either way. But definitely put it in your radars. It could break above this any day now, especially with the interest rate decision tomorrow. Let's look for some follow through. Here we have Solaris Energy, SEI. I'm seeing this as mostly a trading play here. Moving averages all in our favor. Nice full body candlestick. Strong volume as of yesterday. Growth rate and earnings -6. Sales growth rate 8%. Earnings per share pretty lackluster. So again, I'm thinking more of a trade here. Let's take a look at the intraday. For any kind of confirmation, if I zoom in here, the high, let's take off volume. The high coming in at 1607. Let's eclipse this by say 10-15 cents. Just getting confirmation to the upside, but pretty weak on the volume here. You can see the flat bars. So that being said, unless I see some confirmation here surpassing this previous high, I'm going to leave this one off the table. Here we have Bank of Ozark. It is higher than it was from a prior year. Pretty volatile in nature in between. A lot of consolidation. However, my big concern here, this long upper wick, if I go back to a 3-month time span, you can see it here. So any kind of confirmation, I'd like to see the eclipse that prior high at 49.38. But again, with growth rate and earnings on the decline, EPS also on the decline, I think this is more of a trade perspective, just playing the momentum in the banking sector off the election results rather than a long-term investment at this time. Here we've got another crypto stock, Stronghold Digital. A lot of consolidation here. You see the channel forming, several touches on the bottom line. Now, as far as some confirmation here, if I am a trader, because the 3 just across above the 8 right now, play that momentum to the upside. Looking at profit taking around 552, that's the level of resistance here. We saw clear rejection with this upper wick last time. If you're not in it, you're looking for some confirmation, wait to break out to the upside of the channel here or to the downside, depending on which way you want to play it. But right now, that level is going to look around 552. Here's NWPX, Northwest Pipe, 3 above the 8. Don't like the upper wick here, so I'd like to see a little bit more optimism before just go ahead and jumping on in. But as far as investment rate, look, growth rate and earnings on the rise, EPS on the rise, double digits for the sales growth rate at 10%. Growth rate and earnings sits at 9%, still pretty great rating. As far as an investment, let's go to a 1-year chart. I like what I see here. Nice lower left to upper right. As far as a trader's perspective here, I would probably utilize, something like Star Search just because we're seeing a lot of momentum to the upside right now. And Star Search will help you protect profits with high momentum trades. Mara Digital, another crypto stock. Look, 3 just crossed above the 8. We're seeing the buyers take control. A little bit of upper wick. Let's take a 1-day chart here. Okay, the prior high came in just a few moments ago. Let's take that out just to get some confirmation to the upside. Now, as far as any more potential to the upside, level of resistance I'm looking at is right around $20, sitting at the prior high. Right now, it's at $18.49. So if you do see some rejection at this level, just be cautious and don't be afraid to take some profits off the table. And last on the list, we have Foxcore. Lower left, upper right over the last year here, and a lot of momentum to the upside. Moving averages all in our favor. Growth rate and earnings ending at 6%. Sales growth rate 11%. Earnings per share also on the rise here. So I do see this as an investment opportunity. Now, as far as a trader's perspective, let's go into 1 month here. Nice bottom wick. If I could take out the high today, coming in at 42.25, or just 4 cents away from that high. So I'd like to see that taken out, giving me sense of optimism for the bulls. All right, VV Nation, between now and tomorrow evening, I'm gonna do a lot of research and see exactly how these semiconductor stocks are gonna be affected by tariff policies. Tomorrow is Semiconductor Thursday. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that way I can keep you updated going forward. I know a lot of us are holding NVIDIA right now, and with their manufacturer, Taiwan Semiconductor, feeling the pressure today, I want to keep you on the right side of the market. Now, if you enjoyed tonight's presentation, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel so that way I can keep you updated going forward. Time to get excited. It's almost 2025. Hard to believe, right? I know. Now, VectorVest, we are proud to present our 2025 flagship 2-day investment seminar held in Tampa, Florida, January 10th and 11th. Now, you can visit that live stream. Just go to vectorvest.com/stream. There will be some great heavy hitters there presenting. We've got Glenn Tompkins, Ray Clark, along with Jerry D'Ambrosio, and special guest Les Mason.